What is up, my thrifty friends? Tabs here from the Urban Goddess shop. If you're new, I'm a Canadian reseller. I'm a mom to 2 girls, a wife, and I work part-time in a hospital. And then on the side, I love to sell used clothing. It is my jam. I love used clothing. I like to share my journey and what is happening. If you're a new reseller, you probably want to hit subscribe and follow along on the content because I share everything about my business. Full transparency. You guys can apply this into your own business. Today's video is how to succeed and make it through a slow fourth quarter. Because let's be real, this is much slower than we've seen in previous years. These are not normal sales. We're working a lot harder. The items aren't selling for the price that we want necessarily or making the volume of sales. Some people are, a lot of people aren't. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to reduce your losses and try and make more sales to get through this fourth quarter as the economy is in a slump. People are spending their money very wisely. How do we get on the other end still holding our business intact? So some of the topics we're going to cover today are sourcing, listing, pricing, and sales and offers, because I feel like these are all some pillars that we can work on and that we could see changes in our business if we just kind of hunkered down and focused on these. Okay, let's just jump right into this. The first one is sourcing. I have said this before, I'm going to say it again. I feel like I'm standing on a soapbox, but we have to be careful in what we are sourcing. All right, we have to check comps. We have to make sure that these items are selling, because otherwise you're going to be sitting on your money, and that's not a smart thing right now. You need to have your money in your pocket. This is not the time for bad buys, maybe could sell, or like possiblies. This is where you're grabbing items that you feel very confident are going to sell for X amount of dollars. And this is where you look at what you're paying for an item and what it's going to sell for. And then I want you to minus Poshmark fees. And then what are you left with for a profit margin? You have to think about this with every item you're buying. And this is going to help you build the building blocks, or like the framework, to having good quality pieces in your closet if you're a Poshmark seller. I do think a lot of these tips will work if you're a seller on eBay as well, or any other platform. Another thing I want you to look at is that if you have a low cost of goods, this is something I see where people are like, but Tab, I'm only paying $1 or $2 for these items, which is fair enough. But if you have 20 items that you paid $1 or $2 for and they are not selling, you are making $0 an hour. You are not making money off them. So even though they are low cost of goods, they're not necessarily a good buy. It takes time to list these items. You have to store them. All this time factors in. And I just really want you to focus, even if you have a low cost of goods, focus on items that you know will sell and that are selling currently, not what sold last winter or what was selling in summer, because these waters we're in are different waters for sure. Here's another tip for sourcing. I would be looking for quality pieces over quantity of pieces. Right now, my current ASP for the month of November is $44. This is very similar to what I have seen last month and the month before. And to me shows that people are still spending money, but I want to be honest, I am seeing far less amount of sales happening, but that ASP is still staying there. What I have been working on is just making sure the items that I'm picking up, I feel like have a good sell-through rate. When you're outsourcing, these are just things that you should be thinking about. And I think these tips will help minimize losses over the next couple months and hopefully help keep your business intact getting into 2023, because we are all waiting for 2023 to come right now. All right, next one, we're going over listing. And this is a rule that I have followed for a really long time. List your best pieces first. I'm going to repeat this. List your best pieces first. Your death pile should be your lower items. Your best pieces need to get listed because these are going to bring you your highest dollar back into your business. If your death pile is a bunch of mediocre crap, who cares? Let it sit there. At least you know you have all your best stuff up rather than having hundreds of dollars or a gold mine sitting on the floor. I do believe in a death pile. I do believe it's healthy to have items that are sitting there in case you have some dry days or sourcing weeks, and these items will help get you through. But to me, my death pile mostly is filler items. All the good pieces I want to get listed first because I'm probably going to make the largest profit margin on them, right? It doesn't make sense to leave your best pieces in death piles get those listed. I promise if you make that change in your business, if you aren't already doing it, you will start to see positive changes and you'll start to see that money coming back into your business a lot quicker. Like I said, use that death pile as the fillers. When you run out of your good pieces, okay, I'm gonna list a couple pieces. I also try and list out of my death pile the most seasonal items. If I have summer items in my death pile, let them sit there for now. Get those winter, those fall pieces, get those listed because that's what people are currently shopping for. Not that people don't buy summer stuff all year round, but you're probably also gonna get better dollar for your fall and winter pieces over your summer shorts, tank tops, flip-flops, things like that. All right, next is gonna be pricing. And this is something I stand by. I know not everyone does, so to each their own. I have a pricing business model. For me, when I'm searching comps, I am pricing mid to high. That's personally what I do. This allows me to give discounts. Everyone wants a discount no matter what your price point is at. So if you're selling an item with an average sale price of $50, if you price it at $50, on Poshmark, buyers are so accustomed to getting deals that they're still gonna want you to knock $10 off. I would rather be priced at $70 to $75. Someone likes my item, I send them an offer for 20%. They're getting that discount. In their brain, they're processing it as, okay, I'm saving 20% off this item, and I'm still being able to make that sale for hopefully over $50. If you are always pricing at like that, bottom comp search price, that is probably the only price you're ever gonna get or lower. If you don't price a little bit higher, you'll never have those opportunities of getting a little bit more. I know this doesn't work for everyone, but typically I'm sourcing items that retail for over $60 to $70. If an item doesn't retail for over $60 to $70, there is no way I'm gonna be able to sell it for over $40 or $50. Does that make sense? It's not saying that there's those unicorns, that are really hard to get. You're in that retail arbitrage market where you're paying 50, but the item sells for 70. But that's rare. That's not the market that I'm selling to. When I'm out searching and I'm setting my prices, I'm looking at what is the retail value of this, and then what is a fair market value? How old is the item? And these help when I'm actually making the decisions to pick up the item. To me, if an item sells for $100 10 years ago, that doesn't matter. There is very small chances that that item is going to sell for over $50 10 years later. And these are things you should keep in mind when you're sourcing that also affect how you price. The last thing I want to cover is sales and offers. I'm going to be honest with you. I use automation. I've talked about this before. I use closet tools. You can use any automation you want. Basically, what it does is it sends a 20% offer to anyone that likes an item in my closet. I get a lot of sales doing this method. I know that there's different ways that you can set up your automation or different ways you can do your offers. This is just what I find works for me in my business. I do make a good chunk of sales doing it that way. The next sale that I run is usually a 30% offer, and this will be like once or twice a week. I usually do it on the weekend, like Fridays and Sundays, just because that's when Poshmark is offering their discounted shipping, and I find people like to shop on the app those days. I have heard some people do them on Mondays and Wednesdays, and that's where they find they get the most sales. Really, I think what you need to look at is what days of the week do you find you get the most likes and the most activity in your closet, and those are probably the days that you should send your aggressive offers, because people are already shopping, they're looking at your closet. For some reason, your closet is being favored in the algorithm on those days. I think you need to jump on that opportunity to make those sales happen. I also run 40% off sales on long weekends or holidays. I have this theory that people just have a little bit more spare time on long weekends. Lots of people are at home, visiting family, traveling, and they're shopping on their phones at the same time. Also, retailers tend to do sales on long weekends too. That's a known fact. We all know it. Here is my pro tip though. If you're gonna offer deep discounts on long weekends to bundles, don't offer the shipping discount, because we have to reduce our losses. You're already giving someone 40% off, or maybe you run 50% off sales. You do not have to give them discounted shipping. It is now an option in Poshmark. I usually opt out of this because they are getting such a deep discount on the items. And again, this is your ultimate goal. It is to reduce loss. It is to make it through to the next year and get through these slow times and low economic growth right now. If there's anything you want to add, any other pro tips you have that are working for you to help get through these slow times, help make sales, Drop it down below, share with us. We are a community, we grow when we share together. I hope these help you. If you find value in this video, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. If you're not subscribed, make sure you tap the subscribe button so you can join the crew. I will see you guys next time. Wishing you all many sales. Bye.